Welcome to my English podcast.
Learn, practice, and speak with confidence.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to my English podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. Today we're talking about something really fun and really useful if you want to sound more natural in English proverbs.
Yup, those little one-line pieces of wisdom you've probably heard before. They're short, they're smart, and native speakers use them all the time.
Exactly. Like, have you ever heard someone say, better late than never? Or, don't judge a book by its cover? Those are proverbs. And if you can learn to use even one or two of them, you instantly sound more fluent.
But here's the thing. Sometimes proverbs feel confusing. Like, what do they really mean? And when do you actually use them?
So today, we're breaking it all down. We'll learn some really common English proverbs, understand their real meanings, and talk about when and how to use them in real conversations.
And of course, we're not doing this alone. We've got our amazing guest, Mrs. Tina, with us again. She's going to walk us through the deep stuff in a way that's super clear.
Hi Max, hi Mia. And hello again to everyone listening. Yes, proverbs are such a great way to bring life and personality into your English. They're short, wise, and often funny. And once you understand how they work, they become really fun to use.
So where do we start? What's a great first proverb to learn?
Let's start with one of the most popular ones. The early bird catches the worm.
Ooh yeah, I've heard that one a million times. But what does it really mean?
It simply means, if you start early or take action early, you have a better chance of success. The bird that wakes up early gets the first worm, so if you're prepared and on time, good things come your way.
So it's about being early, being prepared. That makes sense.
Can you give us a real example? Like, how would you use it in conversation?
Sure. Let's say you and your friend are both applying for a job. Your friend starts working on their resume early and gets their application in before you. You might say, "Wow, you already applied? The early bird catches the worm, huh?"
Love it. It's playful but also meaningful.
Okay, next one. What else do you have for us?
Here's another favorite. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes, I love how visual this one is. So what's the meaning behind it?
It means don't depend completely on one thing. If you put all your eggs in one basket and that basket falls, you lose everything. So in life, it's smarter to spread your risks.
So like, if I invest all my money in one company and it crashes, I lose it all?
Exactly. Or even with your time, if you only focus on one skill and ignore everything else, that's risky too.
This is such good life advice. And the best part? It's said in one sentence.
And that's the magic of proverbs. They say a lot in a little.
Okay, I've got one I always hear but never really understood. Actions speak louder than words. What's the deal with this one?
Ah, that's a classic. It means what you do is more important than what you say. People believe your actions more than your promises or words.
So like if someone says, I care about you, but they never help you or spend time with you, then their actions speak louder?
Exactly. You watch how someone behaves, not just what they say.
That makes so much sense, and I feel like this applies in almost every culture.
Yes, proverbs often have versions in many different languages. That's the cool part. These are little pieces of shared human wisdom.
Okay, I want to try using that in a sentence. My boss keeps saying he values our time, but he never listens to our ideas. I guess actions speak louder than words.
Perfect. That's a very natural way to say it.
Let's do one more before we take a little pause. I keep hearing this one. You can't have your cake and eat it too. What does that even mean?
Good question. This one sounds confusing at first. But it means you can't enjoy two opposite things at the same time. Once you eat the cake, you don't have it anymore. So if you want to keep it, you can't eat it.
So it's about choices.
Yes. It's used when someone wants both sides of a situation, but that's not realistic. For example, you can't spend all your money and still have savings.
Ah, now it clicks. So if someone says they want total freedom, but also total control, you might say, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly. It's a nice way to say, pick one.
These are all so good. And they also make you sound way more fluent, because they show cultural understanding, not just vocabulary.
Yeah, you're not just speaking English, you're living in it.
That's exactly the goal. Proverbs add color, confidence, and connection to your English. And once you start using them, you'll see how often they show up in conversations, books, and even movies.
Okay friends, in the next part we're going to dive into more fun proverbs, some that are a little tricky, and some that are super common in daily life. Alright, we're back. So far we've explored proverbs like the early bird catches the worm, don't put all your eggs in one basket, actions speak louder than words, and you can't have your cake and eat it too. Each one packs such a big message into such a tiny sentence.
Totally. And they stick in your memory because they feel like little life lessons. So Mrs. Tina, what's next?
Let's try one that sounds a little old-fashioned but is still used a lot. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Ooh, I've heard that one. But I always thought, what does Rome have to do with anything?
Good question. This proverb just means, when you're in a new place or a new culture, try to follow the local customs. Don't fight it. Don't act like your way is better. Blend in.
That makes so much sense. Like, if you visit Japan, maybe you take off your shoes indoors. Or in India, you eat with your hands. It's about respecting the culture, right?
Exactly. You're not saying your way is wrong. You're just being open to the way others live. It's a sign of maturity and respect.
Can I try it in a sentence?
Go for it.
I wasn't used to eating dinner so late in Spain, but hey, when in Rome.
Perfect. And yes, sometimes people use just the short version, when in Rome, as a playful way to say, let's just go with the local way.
Okay, I've got one I've heard in movies. Look before you leap. What does that mean?
That means don't jump into something without thinking first. Take a moment to check the situation before making a decision.
So it's like saying, think before you act.
Exactly. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, you wouldn't just jump. You'd check how deep the water is, right?
I love how visual that is. So if your friend wants to quit their job without another one lined up, you might say, look before you leap.
Exactly right.
Alright, here's another one I've always found funny. Too many cooks spoil the broth. I mean, what is broth?
Broth is like soup. And this proverb means, if too many people are trying to control or manage the same thing, it gets ruined. Everyone adds their own ingredient and suddenly the soup is a mess.
Oh wow, that applies to group projects for sure.
Totally. Like 5 people trying to write one sentence and ending up with a disaster.
That's the idea. It's about saying that sometimes fewer people working on something can actually be better.
Can I say, we were trying to plan the event, but everyone had different ideas. Too many cooks.
Perfect again.
Alright, I want to switch it up a little. Mrs. Tina, are there any proverbs that help with motivation? Like when you're feeling down or stuck?
Yes, one of my favorites for motivation is, where there's a will, there's a way.
Ha, that one gives me chills. So powerful.
It means, if you really want something and you're determined, you'll find a way to make it happen, even if it's hard.
I love that. Because it reminds you that effort matters. If you want it badly enough, you'll find a path.
It's perfect for English learners. Like, even if it's tough now, if you keep practicing, there will be progress.
Exactly. So you can say, learning English feels hard now, but where there's a will, there's a way.
This is honestly one of the most helpful episodes we've done. Because these proverbs are so useful in everyday English, and they also say something deeper.
They're like little mirrors. You hear one and you go, oh, that's me.
That's true. And because they're short and rhythmic, they're easy to remember. They stay with you.
Let's go with a couple more. Maybe something about patience?
Yes. Here's one. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh yes, I love this one. It's like saying big things take time.
Exactly. Whether it's building a relationship, a skill, or a dream, it takes time. Don't rush. Be patient.
And the message is, it's okay to be slow. Just don't stop.
That's a beautiful way to put it. So if someone says, I'm still not fluent in English, you can say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
You just gave a lot of listeners a big warm hug with that one, Mrs. Tina.
Okay, last one before we take a short breather. What's a good proverb for someone who made a mistake?
Let's go with, every cloud has a silver lining.
Ooh, that one's poetic. What does it really mean?
It means even in bad situations, there's something good. You may not see it right away, but there's always some hidden benefit or lesson.
So, like, if I lose my job but then I find a better one a month later?
Exactly. The cloud was losing your job, but the silver lining was the better opportunity.
This one really helps with mindset. It tells you not to give up when things feel dark.
Yes, it's full of hope.
Wow, this part of the episode was like a therapy session and a language lesson all in one.
Right? These proverbs really teach us how to see life with more balance, more kindness.
And now that you've learned these, you'll start noticing them more. In shows, books, social media, even in daily talk.
Coming up next, we'll look at how to practice using these proverbs in real conversation, writing, and even when you're thinking in English. We'll also do a little proverb challenge with real examples. Okay, we're back. And wow, what a journey this has been. So far, we've explored so many useful proverbs. But now I'm wondering, how can our listeners actually practice using them?
Because it's one thing to know the proverb and another thing to use it confidently when speaking English.
That's a really important point. The key is to connect the proverb to real moments in your life. When a situation happens, ask yourself, is there a proverb that fits this?
That makes so much sense. Like, if you visit Japan, maybe you take off your shoes indoors. Or in India, you eat with your hands. It's about respecting the culture, right?
So, basically, the more we notice proverbs in daily life, the more natural they become.
Exactly. And one fun way to practice is to choose one proverb each day and try to use it once, in writing or in speaking. Just once.
That's doable. Like a proverb of the day challenge.
Yes. For example, let's say your proverb today is actions speak louder than words. You could use it in a message to a friend or write it in your journal. I told myself I'd study more, but I haven't opened my book in 2 days. Actions speak louder than words.
That's such a smart way to practice. It's like learning the meaning, then applying it in a real-life sentence.
You know what I'd love? A quick challenge right now. Like you give us a real-life situation, and Max and I will try to respond with a proverb.
Ew, I like that. Let's try it. Here's the first one, situation 1. You studied really hard for an exam, but your friend did nothing, and now they're panicking.
Okay. I'll say to them, well, the early bird catches the worm.
Perfect.
Nice. Okay, next one.
Situation 2. Your friend just spent all their money on a new phone, and now they can't afford anything else.
That sounds like, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly. You both are getting good at this.
Okay, give us a hard one.
All right. Situation 3. You were working on a group project and everyone kept arguing over small things, and in the end, the project didn't turn out well.
That's easy. Too many cooks spoil the broth.
Bingo.
This is such a fun way to practice. And I bet our listeners are playing along right now too.
And they absolutely should. Here's a little challenge for everyone listening. After this episode, think of one thing that happened today. Then ask yourself, which proverb fits this moment?
And here's an extra tip. Try texting a friend or writing a diary entry using that proverb. Even if it's just one sentence.
Because when you use it your way, you remember it better.
Yes, that's the power of context. The more personal the learning, the deeper it sticks.
Before we close, Mrs. Tina, do you have one final proverb for our listeners?
I do. One of my all-time favorites. Practice makes perfect.
Oh yes. A classic, and so true.
It's simple but powerful. It reminds us that no one is great at something on day one. But if you keep going, if you keep trying, even if you make mistakes, you'll get better. Slowly. Surely.
And that's a perfect way to think about learning English. Don't wait to be perfect. Just keep practicing.
Exactly. Make little mistakes. Laugh. Learn. And trust that with time, your English will grow stronger.
Yes. And adding proverbs to your daily practice makes your English richer, smarter, and more connected to culture.
Alright, before we go, let's do a quick recap of the proverbs we learned today. Ready?
Let's go. The early bird catches the worm. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Actions speak louder than words. You can't have your cake and eat it too. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Look before you leap. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Where there's a will, there's a way. Rome wasn't built in a day. Every cloud has a silver lining. Practice makes perfect.
That's a wonderful collection of wisdom. And remember, you don't need to learn them all at once. Just choose one that speaks to you and make it part of your day.
We hope this episode helped you fall in love with Proverbs the way we have.
And if it did, go ahead and share it with a friend. Learning is always more fun when it's shared.
Keep speaking. Keep breathing. Keep learning.
And never forget, your English doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours.
Bye for now.